So next, what we are going to do is use the leftovers from mixing the 100 mils of cherry menthol and use those in mixing a 30 ml bottle of cherry menthol. Again, at a 3 milligram, but I think this time I'll go for a 50-50 mix just to mix it up. So the 100 mils you just watched me mix up was a 70 VG, 30 PG. This is going to be a 50 VG, 50 PG, and that's more suitable for your mouth to lung devices and your pod systems. So we've still got the leftover cherry menthol, we've got the leftover nicotine, which fortunately enough is exactly how much we need to make this bottle a 3 milligram. As last time, I'm going to start with the flavoring. So I've got my 30 ml mixing bottle. Again, you can get these from us at the e-cig shop. They'll come with the empty bottle, a nib or a nozzle, and a cap for the bottle. It's still 15%, no matter what size bottle you're making, the amount of the flavoring to use for cherry menthol is always going to be 15%. So we need to figure out what 15% of 30 is because we're making a 30 ml bottle. I know off the top of my head, because I've done this many times before, that 15% of 30 is 4.5. But if you don't know how to figure that out, all you would do is take the total amount you're making, which in this case is 30, divide that by 100, and then times the answer to that by whatever the mixing percentage is. So what I've done is taken 30, divided it by 100, and then times that answer by 15, and that should give you 4.5. So what I need to do now is measure out 4.5 mils of the flavoring. Now, it's easy to do to measure out 15 mils of a 30 ml bottle because it's just half of the bottle. It's a bit harder to do 4.5 mils by eye unless you are very, very good at measuring by eye, which I can be, but today I don't feel like being. So what I'm gonna do, so I've got a 10 ml syringe, the one that I got earlier. There are two ways of going about this. You can, the way that most people would ordinarily do it is get your drawing needle, put it on the end of the syringe, get your bottle of concentrate, take the nozzle off, if you can get him off. There we go. And then you just draw up using the drawing syringe, 4.5 mils-ish. So that would be around there-ish. And then you would put that into your bottle. But what I like to do, just another way to do the same thing, but doesn't require you having a drawing needle, you would take the plunger out of your syringe, you would put your thumb on the bottom, make sure you can see the numbers. So it's acting like a beaker, and then you make sure you've got the nozzle on your flavoring. So let's put him back on there, because without that, this could go horribly wrong. And then you just squirt into the syringe 4.5 mils. Just about there, that'll do. So that is about 4.5 mils. I don't know if you guys can see that on the camera, see if I can get a zoom on it. And then you would just rather swiftly and accurately remove your thumb with the nozzle over the bottle like that. So the concentrate pours into the bottle. Get your plunger. Make sure he's all in there. Voila. I could tell you the maths behind how much nicotine to use, but it might get a little bit overwhelming, lots of numbers and equations. So all I'm going to do is tell you, if you're making a 30 ml bottle of e-liquid and you want it to be 3 milligrams, you use half of a 18 milligram nicotine shot, which is exactly how much we've got left from the last mix. So voila. All right, I'm gonna cheat and just take the nozzle off because it's a bit easier to pour out than doing that. Voila. So that's now going to be a 3 milligram e-liquid once we finish making the rest of the bottle. As I said earlier, I'm gonna make a 50-50. So what you would need to do is make sure 15 mils of the 30 ml e-liquid is PG based. So that'll be your flavoring and your nicotine if you're using PG based nicotine. And then the other 15 mils is VG. But as you guys know by now, I like to do things by eye. So what I'm going to do is get my PG. I've got some additional PG, so you can buy VG and PG separately, or you can buy them blended together already with us. But this might be a little bit difficult for some, so what I'm actually going to do is I could pour this straight into there because I'm a mixing wizard, but not everybody is. So I just called myself a wizard while wearing round frame glasses. What I'm going to do is get a twist up on here, undo the twist up so it's easier to pour from. And all I'm going to do is just by eye, look to see where about halfway up the bottle is. And that'll be about there. Voila. So now half the bottle is PG because I've put some PG in, the flavouring is PG and the nicotine is PG. The other half of the bottle just needs to be VG. Let's see if I can get this poured. Right, moment of truth. Is he gonna mess this up on camera? No, he's not, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that, straight shot, swish. Oh, almost, a little bit of a spill. But that doesn't matter because we've got one of these lovely Mixology vape mats down to catch anything that we do spill. But ignore the web address. This is no longer our web address, okay? It's actually www.the-e-cig-shop.uk. This is the old address, no longer works. Please don't use it. But links to our website will be in the description anyway. So once you've filled up the rest of the bottle with your VG, you get your nozzle for your 30ml bottle. You pop him on there. You get your cap, which is any one of these. You screw him on there and you give it a good thorough shake, but not before wiping up any residual VG, PG or concentrates you've left on the outside of the bottle. So once you've got the cap on and nozzle on, you give them a good shake. And I mean, I don't know if you guys can see, but you're looking for air bubbles evenly distributed around the whole bottle. You don't want to see any of the VG or PG streaking through the mix. It should all look like one solution rather than two solutions sort of moving around each other. And that is done. So you would then put that into your atomizer that is suitable to use with 50/50 e-liquids, such as your mouth-to-lung tanks like the Nautilus tanks or the Aspire K3 tanks, Aspire Nautilus X, your POC X's. But if you've got sub-ohm kits like, I don't know, the PMP tanks or the Pt.2 tanks or the Falcon tanks that we sell here, you want to use the 70/30 mix ideally. But that is how you mix your own e-liquid at home using the flavour concentrates and base mix and nicotine shots that we have here available for you at the e-cig shop. Into the bottle, which we don't want. And just half of this, again, you can go by eye. Or you can have the nozzle fall off in the thing and, right, there's a nozzle in the liquid now. Why?